the first line. Ma. Sorry. This is Yam Mahima. Yatavasya Mahima.
Who has the control of Master.E.K?
Ato Jyayanscha Purusha. Padavasya. Padavasya. Bhutani. Tripadasya Amrutam Divi. Etavanasya Mahima Ato Jayanscha Purusha Padosya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Amrutam Divi. This is the third mantra. If we break into their original words, the first line is Etavan Asya Mahima. 3 words. Etavan Asya Mahima. Here in the second line, when split up, the first word becomes Ataha. Ato becomes Ataha. Here, the 2 words are conglomerated. We will split up. Jayan plus Cha. So here we have split up into the original 2 words. It becomes Jayan and Cha. Here this is the grammatical conglomeration part. Purusha is 1 word. So this is the second line. Third line, it is split up here. Pado becomes Padaha, just as Ato became Ataha. The original word is Padaha, but through grammatical ways, when cemented, it becomes Pado. Here also the original word was Ataha, it becomes Ato. So when we split up, it becomes Padaha. Next, Asya. Vishwa. Bhutani. This is the third. Padaha, Asya, Vishwa, Bhutani. 4 words. And here we have to split up into 2. It becomes T. The D becomes T in the original because the D became D in the grammar. Tripa Asya Amrutam, 1 word. This total Amrutam. This is the same word, Divi. So this is the word splitting. Now let us know the word meaning. Asya means of him. That means his. You take somebody and say, this is of him. This is his. That is Asya. Mahima is greatness. Etavan means this much, or you can also say such. Two meanings are there. Shape. The word means this much, or the word means such. The first line means this much is the greatness of the Purusha we are discussing. Of course, I will dictate the meaning separately. Or you say, such is the greatness which we have shown in the first two stanzas. This is a reference to the first two stanzas. Etavanasya mahima. Such is the splendor or greatness of his. That is his greatness. And in the second line, the word meaning is Purusha. That is the person about whom we are speaking. Ataha. Than that. It is a comparative degree. Than that. Jayan. Great. Great or big. Cha means also. You have seen the last mantra. Cha means also. Ataha means then that. Jayan means great or big. Cha means also. Now here the sentence is, such is the greatness or the splendor of the person about whom we are speaking, and also the person is greater than what we have spoken, because we are going to speak some more things about him. And ataha means than that is than his greatness. He is always greater than his greatness. That means, don't believe that he is greater because of his greatness. His greatness is with him because he is great. You see? Don't believe that a person is safe because he is rich. That's too much. His riches depend upon his existence. So, it is a foolish logic to believe that whatever depends upon us can protect us or save us. So, this is not a human being who believes that his riches or money will save him or protect him. He is always greater than his greatness. That means he shines forth through what we call greatness and qualities. And he is independent of any greatness, and he is not bound or conditioned by any greatness. Because he is always greater than the greatness that is there in his creation. That is the second sentence, second line. Otherwise, he would have believed in his bank balances. He would also be having big amounts in Swiss banks. But all these banks exist on the earth globe. Earth globe is rotating around the sun. Therefore, he knows the danger or the risk. Any time the earth globe may collide with the sun globe, and there will not be a Swiss bank. So, he is wise enough not to save his money in any bank. It is with him. What he calls the light of I am. That is his greatness. This is the second sentence. Then the third. Asya means his. And also to him. You have to take the two meanings. Padaha, foot. You have seen it in the first mantra. And also, Padaha means 1/4. Now you get a run-on of the first mantra. Vishwa means all. This word Vishwa means all and everything. Bhutani means beings. So the third line means all these beings of creation, they form 1/4 of his existence. Of course, I'll dictate again, just listen to it. All the beings put together, the existence, the creation, everything, the sky, the earth, heaven, everything put together form 1/4 of him. What about the remaining? Is he keeping for himself? We'll see the fourth foot. Because we are only in the third 1/4. Asya means his or to him, same thing. Tripa, that is 3/4, 3/1/4 or 3 feet. Poor fellow, he is having 4 feet. He is a quadruped. God is a quadruped. I think it is good because we can cook and eat him. That is what the Devas did in the next mantra. They say the Devas cooked him and ate because they saw a beautiful quadruped in the fellow, well fat. Tripat means 3/4. Amritam means immortal. We have seen it in the previous mantra. Immortal. Divi means in the heaven. In the heaven. So his 3/4 are placed in immortality in the heaven. Oh, see, he has a better Swiss bank. He has deposited his 3/4 there, so that no tax officer can detect. This one. Yes. Asya means, Divi means in the heaven. Amritam means immortality. Immortality. Asya means his. Tripat means 3/4. We'll take down the translation or import to the total. All this is his greatness. All this is his greatness. That means everything that was narrated in the previous 2 mantras is his greatness. And also all this means whatever you know, whatever you say, this is his greatness. That is the first sentence. And the next sentence, he is always greater than his greatness. He is always greater than his greatness. That's the second sentence. Stop. Next sentence. All these beings are included as 1/4 of him. As 1/4 of him. The remaining 3/4 is eternity that shines as heaven. Here, immortality means eternity. And heaven means, the word divi means light. The exact meaning of what we call heaven is light. How can heaven be light? Because we do not know the original light. What we know light is only optic light. If we have no eye, there is no light to us. But light is there whether there is eye or not. So, what we can call mental light or Buddhic light, it is the greater light which is beyond what we call light. And what we call consciousness or awareness is nothing but the real light. When our mind awakens a little bit into it, we say we have understood something. Just think, what do you mean by understanding? What happens when we understand something? It is nothing but enlightenment. That is, candle power a little more. So, light in its true sense is different from what we call light. Because what we know as light is only light to the eye or optic light. We have to know what mental light is. When a thing comes to our recollection, it is the faculty of the mental light. And when something which we didn't know previously strikes to our mind exactly, and that is what we call Buddhic light. And that is the true intuition, which has nothing to do with logic or anything, or reasoning, or definitions, or anything. Sometimes directly truth comes to your mind. That is what is called Buddhic light. And then above and beyond that, what you feel very happy when you do a good thing, or what you feel very happy when somebody is benefited by your doing, or what you feel very happy if somebody is doing a good thing or somebody is being happy, that is the true light, which is the greater light and which the real seers call soul light. You see, in that light, when we are awakened, we live in groups. Otherwise, we live in masses. When we are in a group, the group exists and we exist in it. That means the one person exists with all these heads, hands, feet, etc. and our bodies exist in him. That is what happens when we begin to live in the soul light. You see, that is the true light. A little bit of lesser illumination is what we call the Buddhic light. A lesser illumination, what we call intelligence. And a little less is what we call our logic, our reasoning and rationalism, which is nothing but our habit of the lower nature. That's why everyone has his own logic different from the others. Because logic belongs to the lower existence of ourselves. Everyone is logical, but everyone has his own logic, which is different from the logic of others. Just as every one of us have our own face, different from the others. So that is the lesser light. And then below that we have the light of what we call the individuality. Very, very dim light. It is full of our cares, fears, anxieties, jealousies, everything, and we are careful to see that our things are belonging to ourselves, not others. And sometimes, if it is possible, other things also belong to us. We feel comfortable temporarily to grab something which is not our own. So that is the dimmest part of the light in which we generally live, which we call the mundane life. Therefore, we are after happiness and we are never happy. We always hunt for happiness, but we know happiness only as a word. Just as the dog knows the smell of flesh only as the smell on the bone without any flesh. But the dog tries to eat the bone because of the smell, but there is no flesh in it. Similarly, the lower personality in us, it is always after happiness. It is very much worried after happiness. No fool can be worried after happiness because worry kills happiness. If we are worried after happiness, we are fools. You see, we are very much restless about happiness. That means greater fools. We think of happiness, therefore greater fools. Because we think of happiness, we cannot have happiness because thinking is in between. So something is missing. There is a story that there was a dog, a hunting dog, and a fellow had a weapon to hunt, a spear, a javelin to throw. He killed an animal and there was a little blood left on it. He brought it home and cut it. The dog smelled something blood and it began to lick the weapon. What happened? The tongue was injured and there was some blood once again on the weapon. And the dog wanted to lick once again because there was some blood more. And finally the dog died. Because it was licking again and again because of the smell of the blood. This is one little story from the ancient Indian scriptures. Similarly, the lower personality or man is very much enamored, worried, restless, horrible. He is hunting after happiness. That's why he is a fool not to have any happiness at all. He knows happiness only as a word. When this stops, when the soul life is kindled, happiness is there because he is happy. Only when we begin to be happy, there will be happiness with us. We can't make ourselves happy. We can be happy and then everything will be happy with us. So he says, he is always greater than his greatness. And 1/4, all these beings are included as 1/4 of him. And the remaining 3/4 is eternity that shines in light. That is in heaven. That is the translation or general import of this. Just we will try to understand a little bit. This fellow is having 4 equal parts or quarters in him. 4 quarters. And all the creation and all the worlds, the galaxies, the solar systems, the earth, the human beings, the students, the professors, the universities, all these things put together, the civilizations, everything, time and space. This is a graph. You know graph. There is one dimension which we call time. There is another dimension which we call space. In him, there is only one because there is time and space in one. In him. But when creation is to be proposed, it comes out vertically also and horizontally also, just as our brother Rudolph says daily. We have the verticals and we have the horizontals. And anything plotted is what we call incident happened. An incident requires an x-axis and a y-axis. That is, you should have time, the dimension of time and the dimension of space. In between, the incident can exist only as a product of the two. If anyone is born, he is the product of time in space. Otherwise there is no birth. There is no beginning, there is no ending. If we say that something is there, it is there as the product of this space. It lives in, it occupies, and the time at which it occurs. Herein comes the basic concept of Albert Einstein, which referred from the previous scientific concepts a little bit. From this dimension, he gave us the Aquarian age, the new world. This is the purview of what we call everything that occurs objectively. What does it contain? Or what is the content of everything? It is what we call the molecules and the atoms and the counterparts of the atoms, the electrons, protons, etc., and their counterparts, their units, fundamental units of space and time, etc. You see? Okay. But every unit is threefold and 1/4 of the total. Will explain how it is according to this theory. Threefold means it has three aspects which we have seen previously. That is matter, force, consciousness. Every existence is a capsule of the three. There is no existence without any one of these three factors. Matter, force, consciousness. Take yourself as an example. Without your body, you cannot stay. You cannot take an apartment in space for rent. So there should be physical body and there should be force to move the physical matter, and there should be a mind to direct the force. Then only it is called a unit or an existence or a constitution chartered, just like a healthy type of government constitution. We have a constitution chartered in terms of matter, force and consciousness. So, the triangular existence which manifests the self-luminous globe of one unit of creation, which we call the space globe, from which the sun globe comes. And from him the planetary globes are formed, coming out. And because space is a globe by nature, the orbits of planets are circular and almost circular or nearly circular. You cannot find planetary bodies escaping tangentially anywhere. How do you account for the planetary bodies having their orbits going round? You can say that it is because of the attraction of the sun or gravitation of the sun. But how do you account for the gravitation of the sun? So no conditioned logic can help us here. Another ignorance cannot be the answer or the knowledge of a lesser ignorance. Suppose you question how do you stand there? Because there is the floor. That is a bigger ignorance which forms the answer of the lesser ignorance. Once again you can ask me how the floor stands. I say upon the second floor. A bigger ignorance. You can ask how the second floor exists. I say the ground floor. Bigger ignorance. Then you can ask how the building exists. I can say because there is the earth or ground. A bigger ignorance. Because the earth is rolling every moment, and I think foolishly that the earth is stable. That's why I am answering, because there is ground, the building is standing. See, at every step, a bigger ignorance is framed as the answer of the lesser ignorance. Then you say, okay, the earth is the base of this building, no doubt, and this earth may be the base of the whole of Geneva also, we accept. But what is the base of this earth? How is this earth standing? Then I answer with a scientific air of pomp that because of the solar gravitation, the earth is living. I feel I have answered. Then, most inconveniently and impolitely, you once again question how the sun globe is standing. The solar, of course, you say that the solar system is there. How is it that the solar system is standing where? On which ground? My answer is blink. Now, here is the part. In 3 stanzas to come, a continuous thought is given as a dimension to understand how the whole world exists. Instead of foolishly believing that the earth is stable and everything is standing on the earth stable, let us try to remember that the earth is like an aeroplane going in equilibrium, like a jet plane. But when the takeoff is complete, when the plane has gone horizontal, you can make Shirshasana also in the plane because it is stable. The way it is going at a very high speed, you can jump, dance, and you can stand on your head until once again there is a jet in the aeroplane. Same thing with the earth also. Same thing with the whole solar system also. Same thing with the cluster of 12 solar systems going around a center, which is called by the Aquarian scientists the center of Alcyon. You see, so we want to know here how the creation exists, what is the basis, what is the stability upon which, what is the ground upon which it exists. This is a field for 3 stanzas to come, which we will do it tomorrow.